Yes, yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cyber Safety Net Stay Safe Online, episode 120. Why do a self-assessment even if you don't have to? My name is Anthony Germanos, and I'll be the presenter. Why do a self-assessment? Most of the assessments I do are from PCI, the Payment Card Industry Security Standards Council. So that's the baseline I'm going to use for this presentation. Organizations that do PCI assessments do them annually. And these are organizations that accept Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and Amex. They have a mandate to do these assessments. But even if you don't accept Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, or any type of credit card for payment, you should still do them because these are a framework for you to understand how strong or weak your security is. PCI is private sector, which I think is a good thing. So payment card industry is private sector. It was formed by Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, and the Bank of Japan. Other compliance organizations are federal with some state. HIPAA, which covers organizations that handle medical information. HIPAA is federal, but some states, including California, also have their implementations of HIPAA. And sometimes the criteria are even more aggressive and more intrusive than what we get from Uncle Sam. Also, there's GLBA, which is Graham-Leach-Bliley for organizations that handle financial data. Once again, it's federal, whereas PCI is a private sector. Today's presentation is sponsored by my fourth book, How Hacks Happen. In How Hacks Happen, there are two personas. There's me, Mark, the good guy who wants to protect you. There's Brad Cracker, the bad guy who wants to rip you off. Brad is a hacker. He says he's good at hacking, hacking is easy, and he likes the easy money. Brad Cracker, watch out for him. Back in episode 102, I introduced the CIA triad, or the confidentiality, integrity, availability triad. And since we're talking about assessing your security or lack of security today, I think we are in the confidentiality domain. Confidentiality, one of the three domains within the CIA triad. When you do an assessment, you get to set high standards. You have a template. And with this template, you get to go through these questions. Most are multiple choice, some are true, false. And when you're done, you have a thorough assessment of your network security or a lack of security. You can perform remediations on your budget. And that's a good thing. When I was learning this a few years ago, I learned the difference between assessments and audits. Assessments let you perform the remediations on your timeline, on your budget, and on your priorities. Whereas an audit isn't. An audit is more heavy-handed. Like if you've been audited by the IRS, they tell you what you do and they give you a deadline, and then you smile and be happy. That is the result of an audit. But with assessments, the remediations happen on your timeline, on your budget, and on your priorities, which I think is a good thing. Something that comes up very early in the PCI assessments is the need to create a network diagram. In fact, they ask, do you have a network diagram and is it current? And usually when I do the first assessment, the answer is no. Here's a sample network diagram of a home office user. We are in the work from home environment these days. We have a lot of items on our networks. What should happen is that you should segment them because you have items you use for work. This would include your computers and your printer or printers. These are for work. They should be segmented or separated from other items on your network. That would include your TVs, your smartphones, your Wi-Fi thermostats, and your $27 Internet of Things light bulb. Yes, I do have a $27 light bulb. Thank you very much. Getting back to business, we segment all these personal items from your work network, because if something happens with the personal items, like if you start getting malware or ransom, that will affect just your personal items, whereas your work items are unaffected because they're protected, and they're protected by the firewall, which basically created two networks under your roof. But Mark, are you trying to generate billable work? I'm under the radar. If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I would live in California. I think, yes, you do have to do it. And there are many reasons. Here are 5. Regulations have this way of trickling down. They start up high with enterprise level, then they go to medium business, then small business. And a lot of regulations I see just have this magical way of trickling down. Also, this is something that you can use as a selling point to convert prospects to clients. You can go to prospects and say, we do self-assessments of our network security, even though we don't have to. And I'm proud to report, this is where we are strong. This is what we are working on. Nothing wrong with full disclosure. Some of your competitors might not share this info, and then the prospects will look at them and say, how serious are they? But you, with network assessments that you can share with your prospects and clients, can gain more credibility in their eyes. And of course, that means you bring in more business. I know your time is valuable. I know there are other places you could have been, but you chose to be here. You chose to listen to me, Mark Anthony Germanos, tell you that you should assess your network security, even though you don't have a mandate to do so. And for that, I thank you. Mark Anthony Germanos, have a good day, everybody.